So yesterday, hold on, I'm going to put my headphones in here. Just a second. And I do need to get... Yeah. So, A330 rework, popular topic on IFC. I'm just going to pop this in here. Mark is ready when I am, Captain. So I'm set up here, coming in from Trendo to the Hello Epic ET Gaming 2112. Welcome to the stream. So at any rate, I'm set up now to fly into Los Angeles. I just got to grab some altitudes here and some speeds. I had the A330 speeds on my iPad yesterday, and I hope I still have them here somewhere. No. I had these speeds yesterday somewhere. No, maybe is this one? Nope, that's about fighter jets. I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, get rid of this. Politics. Let me see if I can find it again. So I have A330 speeds. A330 V. I know I had this yesterday. V app. It was a. Now I could buy this app here, right? Oh, here it is. Smart Cockpit. New V app calculation process. So I come down here, and there's the chart, right? Normal configuration. So we're going to go with flaps full first, right? And I believe I have the weight set to about 180 tons. So let's see. Of course, I'm in America, so I use pounds. 402. So yeah, 180 tons. Matter of fact, I'll even tuck out a couple of passengers here. Okay, so we'll land at about 180 tons. So 180 tons. VLS config full will be 135, right? Plus 5. So we're expecting 140 knots. So taking that into consideration, I'm going to pop in here to the VNav and just quickly set my altitudes. I usually do this just in ILS 25 left. Okay, I should know this by heart. I fly it so much. Okay, where's my charts cloud? Here we go. Sorry, I'm just on my phone. So gate's going to be 5,000. So we'll come in. Yeah, we'll come in at 4,000 for gate. Honda's 3,600, and then Lima's 1,900. So I'm going to go ahead and set gate 3,600. So I'll set 4,000. 4,000 for gate, just to be underneath it. So Trendo to gate, let's say 210 at Trendo. Start slowing, and then gate to Lima, we'll say 170. So gate to Lima, so 170. And then we said, so 135 plus 5, so 140. We're going to do config full first. And then I'll try to back it up. And you'll see the difference between flaps 3 and flaps full in this A330 that's currently in infinite flight. I don't know if it's intentional. I don't know if this is the actual thing. They seem to use a config 3 landing. It seems to be recommended. So we got a slight headwind, right? So it used to be plus 5, plus 1/3 of the headwind for the A320, but they're saying it's a little different here. So our VAP will be 140. We'll say 141 for the infinite flight. Give it a little bit. So then after Lima, 141. Okay, and that'll take us on down. So that when we hit Lima, we'll go down to 141. So 170 to Lima. All right, so here we are, slowing down to 210. Got to trim out a little bit here. going to be a tight turn. Right, flaps 1. And then I should lose a little trim as the flaps start coming out. Still going to try to zero that out a little bit. So I've got it in nav. So this is average. This is an average angle. Once we pass Trendo, we should be, basically as we come past Honda, we'll be here. Chris, if you're watching this, yes I can, but I need a few minutes. Going to try to demonstrate this here. So see, here we come under the glide slope as we're coming past Honda. And this is just something I found yesterday, and I was driving me nuts. Okay, so we're turning for gate. All lights on. Good, lights are on. Probably should have rounded out the base a little bit more. So, okay, now it's turning for Honda. Gonna slow up. Flaps 2. Flaps 2. And what I'll do is I'll punch in that speed here. Alright. Good intercept angle here. So we're gonna come down to 3600 for Honda. Like to see it a little bit better. Okay, she's coming on down now. Alright, so just going to intercept now. Alright, drop the gear at 7 miles or so. So that's actually, that turns out to be a nice intercept there if you go Trendo, gate, Honda. The infinite flight autopilot handles it well. But my whole point here is this flaps 3, flaps full situation. At flaps 3, you're supposed to have more speed. You know, the flaps 3 approach speed is more than the flaps full because, theoretically speaking, less flaps, less lift. But I'm going to show you here. I'm going to run down the glide slope at flaps 3, right? And just to show you, it's kind of torqued, right? You'll see the flaps 3. Okay, let's get into it. Drop the speed, keep that coming down. 10-mile final. And again, I'm just in manual solo mode here, just for demonstration purposes, right? Dropping above the glide slope, don't want to do that. Maybe a little, get us getting down here, right? Because we need to hold that 170 to Lima. I'll usually drop 1,000 as I extend more flaps. Right, just keep it slow, keep it slow. Right, so once we hit Lima, we're going to come back to our approach speed, VAP. And now, the Airbus numbers that we have for the A320 and A321, they work awesome. And she's still trying to fly. That's the big thing about the A330. The wing's so slick and so big. The pilots I've talked to, they just say that, man, that bird wants to fly. Right, so we're 180 tons on the landing here. Coming downhill. Struggling. Now see, here's the thing right here. Here's something right here. I got spoilers on. The speed's 174. The thrust should be idle. It's at 24%. Right, so I'll tuck those away now. The auto thrust on the A330 needs a buff. Okay, here we come back down. Gear down. Gear down. Right, got to keep the spoilers out. Flaps 3. Flaps 3. Now watch this. Watch this flight path vector. Right? Okay, there's flaps 3 at 140 knots. We're supposed to be at 143. Right? And the struggle is real. I'm going to take this over, and I'm going to grab the, try to grab it myself, okay? So here's flaps 3 at 141. We're supposed to be at 143. If I go to 143, right, or 144, right? Okay, here's a flaps 3 approach. I'm a little bit low on the glide slope right now, but look where my nose is, right? And look at the, right, that's not very much up angle, right? Now watch this. Flaps full. Watch that flight path vector. Ready? Watch. Here it comes. Right? Flaps are coming out. Flaps are coming out. You think more lift? Look at that.
1,000.
Right? So now, flaps full. I'm supposed to be 140. Right? Now this is more A330-ish right here. Right? That's an A330 approach angle. So that's correct. So I don't know. I'm trying to out-trim this here, right? So that's supposed to be our flap 3 speed, but if I go back to 140 now, right, look at where I got to put my nose to maintain, maintain glide, right? It's almost 5 degrees. Like she's steady, she's coming down on the rails, but watch when I go back to flaps 3 again. It's going to give me so much more lift for some reason. Look at that. Now I'm too high on the approach, right? There's no bailing out of this one. So go around. Right, go around flaps 2. And see that? It's like a like that. It probably shouldn't happen like that. Okay, 1,500 feet for thrust reduction. So that just demonstrates 78 flaps 1. Gear up. I should have done that when I had a positive rate. So let's go back here and look, right? Right? So flaps full, I settled into, an A330 approach. I mean, that's even a little steep at flaps full there. Right? That's a little steep. And then watch what happens when I go back to flaps. That was the go around. So, I'm struggling to get down at the Airbus speeds, and now, like I said, the devs, Laura and Philippe and whoever does the aircraft dynamics, I believe that's Laura, they've done such a great job with the 737, A320, those numbers. If you pull those numbers from a Boeing manual or an Airbus manual, they work to the T. Like, I cannot say how great they are. But this A330 that we've all been, dying for a rework on, it does crazy things. So I saw the blog post when they say, oh, well, nobody's flying the A330. There's a reason, because when you're coming down on approach, and I don't know, I could be wrong. I mean, I'm basically making this video and hoping to tweet it to Laura and ask, why is this like this? Is this a real thing? Am I being stupid with asking this question? But it is difficult to fly, and of course, we all want the truck tilt. And Delta also has Pratt & Whitney and GE engines on their planes. Just saying. I know. I'm an Airbus fan, so I love the A330. It's gorgeous. Look at that wing. It's a beautiful plane, and I just want to be able to fly it on more routes, and I want to see the 200. Just saying. I could pop into the A330 200F and show you that's unflyable. Like, I was approaching a runway, and to keep it down, matter of fact, I'll do it. I'll pop it in right here. Right, A330 200F, we'll do a UPS. Excuse me. All right, so we'll set up on 25 left. Wait till you see the speeds, and I'll crank the weight up to max landing weight. Right, so look at this, 155. See where that flight path vector is? I'm burning off speed. I got to get some spoilers out here, right? And we're at 161 tons, so 50% weight. You know, so the cargo, I'll just crank it right up to, there you go, 180. So there's max landing weight, right? Flaps full. Oops. So 120 knots is definitely not where it should be, right? In the same token, when the, and look at how much trim I got on here. Right, this should be approaching at like 140 at this kind of weight. Because the Airbus, they all have the same wing, theoretically speaking. Even the 200 and 300. It's a shorter tail. So I'm going to show on takeoff here, right? So imagine we're climbing out of LA. So go around, positive rate, gear up, go around flaps 2, right? Here she comes right through the thing here, right? 150 knots, right? 60, flaps 1 through 170. Now watch, right? I'm already doing, okay, thrust reduction down to like 80%, 95%, right? Bring it down to 10 degrees, nose up. Look at where that flight path vector is. Now this could be just because right, I'm climbing 2,800 feet per minute. Could be power to weight ratio. Could be the wings just that good. I mean, I know the Airbus wings are insane. But watch, once I come above like 200 and something knots, the flight path vector is above me. You know, above where my nose is. We're already going up, right? So 200 knots, flaps 0. Flaps 0 degrees. Right? And here she comes, right? So if I get to 250 right now, you'll see that the flight path vector is going to drift right above where my nose actually is. I mean, I'm climbing like a stuck pig right now. Right, there it goes. Start lowering that trim. Right, there it goes. Should have muted my notifications. Alright, so punch in the thrust, let's get to 250. Set the vertical speed to like 2,200. And look at where that flight path vector is. It's above you, right? So if once I get above 10,000, and I'm climbing at 320, I think it is for the A330, you know, it's just rework, please. I mean, again, I could be completely wrong here and making a fool of myself, but I'm just guessing that a loaded up A330 doesn't climb faster than where its nose is pointed. I could be wrong, but, you know, let me just show the touches here for those of you that might not be getting it, right? So, a loaded A330, see that flight path vector? That means we're going up 2,200. Like, if I go down even some more, right? The flight path vector should not be above where the nose is pointed. Right, and when I get to 10 grand, I'm going to speed up to like 300 knots and we'll demonstrate it again. We could just set a course for Hawaii right now. Just locking the head in here. Get it next level. Landing lights off. So, force of habit there, right? So, auto throttle off for a second. Bump a couple percent. Right, bring it down. So, again, and this could be because it's the freighter model. Let's get it up to 300 knots here fast. Right? So, and I noticed this, I was descending into Hawaii one time, right? Watch that flight path vector there. I mean, it's above where the nose is going to be, right? Get more junk emails. I believe it's 310 for the 330. It might be even 330 knots, I'm not 100%. So let's say it's 310, right? Now look at that. I'm climbing. So say we get a level off at 12,000. Set altitude 12,000. Set altitude 12,000. What is going on with my mic today? Set altitude 12,000. For the love. There's also that. All right. Now look where the nose is, right? You're flying, like, I don't know if that's designed, because the Airbus, and this is only in the 200, right? What a good looking plane that is. I don't know if it's designed to do that. Let's just see. Right, so you're 2 degrees nose down, and look at where the flight path vector is, right? Flight path vector is here, and you're cruising nose down. I mean, that's just, I don't know. It presumably, you know, you would be speeding up, so say you were doing 330 knots. Right, that's going to be more and more pronounced. You know, I mean, I know this Airbus wing. Look at that wing. The Airbus wing is a thing of beauty. But I just, you know, I know we're begging for a rework. I know. Also, there's the fuel used 0 kilograms thing there. I don't understand that. That also happens on this plane where the burn's off. But you know, the faster you go, it's just weird. So there's the A330 kind of demonstration on some of the reasons that it does need a rework, and some of the reasons that I think people may not be flying it. Because when you're coming down that glide slope at flaps 3, and you know you got a good bit of lift, and then you go to flaps full, and you go to set your speed, you know, by the book. All of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, what just happened? So that's that. I guess, you know, hopefully I'll be able to tweet this and they'll see it. So thanks for watching, and keep your fingers crossed for an A330 rework. Hopefully it's coming soon.